Motivational speech for business using principles of Stoicism. Friends, colleagues, I come before you today to share some thoughts on cultivating resilience, purpose, and prosperity through challenging times. As leaders navigating complex realities, maintaining focus and optimism is crucial. Stoicism offers timeless wisdom here. The Stoics saw life as a series of difficulties encountered judiciously through virtue, courage in adversity, justice amid unfairness, wisdom through reflection. Rather than reacting fearfully to uncertainties, they advocated facing reality's flow judiciously through principled participation. Let's reflect on some Stoic principles for thriving purposefully through change. 1. Develop equanimity. The Stoics emphasize detachment from outcomes alone, provisionally gratifying yet precariously dependent on variables beyond direction. By contemplating life's impermanence and our shared vulnerabilities, equanimity emerges through appreciation of each moment and difficulty encountered judiciously versus worrying over potential hardships distressingly. Equanimity shields priorities from destabilizing when change inevitably occurs, yet within navigated resiliently. 2. Cultivate gratitude daily. Appreciating provisions, relationships, and opportunities already attained nourishes optimism, counters envy, and motivates virtuous contributions. Gratitude also strengthens community through cooperation versus competition, exacerbating unrest. Taking time each day to express thanks develops perspective on difficulties encountered meaningfully versus reactively worrying over perceived threats alone distressingly. 3. Practice detachment from external validations. The Stoics advocated intrinsic worth from duties performed judiciously versus unstable rankings dependent on changeable opinions beyond governance. Detaching from unstable desires for recognition or comforts provisionally gratifying yet still precariously leaving vulnerabilities if worth relies on unpredictable variables liberates energy for priorities and relationships actualized purposefully. 4. Confront fears through reason. Reflecting on shared human frailty and reality's impermanence reduces perceived threats to manageable proportions encountered judiciously versus reactively exacerbating fears through fixating upon potential hardships alone distressingly. Courage emerges through facing difficulties meaningfully versus avoidance fueling future anxieties when change inevitably occurs, yet within equanimity navigated resourcefully cooperatively. 5. Develop self-awareness through reflection. Daily introspection on thoughts, emotions, and behaviors strengthens reason's guidance over automatic reactions. Noting recurring patterns identifies virtues to cultivate, such as diligence and justice, and vices like impatience or envy to moderate judiciously. Reflection keeps priorities clear amid distractions and cultivates presence, fully engaging reality's flow purposefully. 6. Exercise discipline over desires. Freedom arises from mastery over cravings alone, provisionally gratifying yet still precariously leaving vulnerabilities if worth relies on fortunes beyond governance. Moderation through reason nourishes fulfillment from life's inherent gifts like relationships and service versus chasing unstable pleasures fueling future wanting. Simplicity shields from dependency while focus on priorities actualized purposefully. 7. Address problems through cooperation. Persuasion arises by appealing to shared interests and conscience versus antagonism exacerbating unrest. Compromise and flexibility allow progressing issues resourcefully through reforms, momentum versus rigidity alone fueling obstacles. Cooperation strengthens communities to navigate complexities resiliently cooperatively. 8. Maintain perspective on successes and failures. The Stoics advocated detachment from results alone, gratification provisionally yet precariously dependent on variables beyond direction. Growth emerges through acknowledgement of shared fallibilities versus defensiveness fueling future errors if unaddressed judiciously. Atonement strengthens integrity while forgiveness cultivates understanding of humanity's interconnected progress cooperatively. 9. Practice presence through mindfulness. Living attentively in the present moment versus dwelling in past regrets or future worries anchors one in reality's flow. This shields from distractions and imagined threats provoking anxiety, keeping priorities clear and fulfillment derived from duties actualized purposefully. Mindfulness nourishes appreciation for each circumstance and relationship meaningfully engaged cooperatively. 10. Develop understanding through studying diverse perspectives. Exposing oneself to new ideas and experiences cultivates empathy, wisdom, and flexibility to reform constructively versus rigidity fueling unrest. Understanding diverse viewpoints strengthens cooperation and communities' resilience through change navigated judiciously. Friends, as leaders navigating complex realities through challenge and opportunity alike, these principles of Stoic wisdom can nourish resilience, purpose, and prosperity. By cultivating equanimity, gratitude, courage, cooperation, and presence through daily difficulties encountered judiciously, priorities remain clear and communities strengthen to progress issues resourcefully. Though uncertainties will always exist beyond direction, within lies the power to navigate reality's flow meaningfully through principled yet flexible participation according to conscience and shared interests addressed constructively cooperatively. By focusing outward through service and understanding versus inward reactions, we can thrive purposefully through any circumstance encountered judiciously together. With Stoic virtues like diligence, empathy, and justice guiding our way judiciously yet pragmatically, I know our communities and enterprise will continue growing in solidarity and prosperity through difficulties encountered resiliently cooperatively. Friends, let's commit to living and leading according to nature's light of reason, courage, and fellowship as we embark on opportunities that lay ahead. Thank you. 11. Find fulfillment through meaningful contributions. The Stoics taught living virtuously according to nature through duties and relationships prioritized judiciously versus chasing pleasures alone, gratification provisionally. True success arises from clear conscience and contributions made meaningfully according to priorities versus results alone dependent on unpredictable variables beyond direction yet within navigated resiliently cooperatively. 12. Embrace life's brevity fully. Contemplating impermanence and shared human frailty fuels living attentively in each moment versus postponing engagement or gratitude. Reflecting on life's brevity reduces perceived threats and nourishes appreciation for reality's flow navigated judiciously through difficulties encountered purposefully cooperatively. 13. Practice humility through daily reflection. Acknowledging shared fallibilities with empathy versus defensiveness cultivates growth. Daily introspection on behaviors and impacts keeps conscience clear, relationships strong and communities progressing constructively through reforms momentum cooperatively. 14. Confront fears through philosophical contemplation. Reflecting on life's uncertainties and humanity's progress navigated resiliently reduces perceived threats to manageable proportions encountered judiciously versus reactively exacerbating fears through worrying over potential hardships alone distressingly. Courage emerges through facing difficulties meaningfully. 15. Exercise simplicity and frugality. Minimalism shields from dependency on pleasures provisionally gratifying yet precariously leaving vulnerabilities if worth relies on unpredictable variables beyond direction. Simplicity nourishes priorities of relationships and contributions actualized purposefully versus materialism fueling insatiability and distracting from meaningful living cooperatively. 16. Challenge unhealthy comparisons and judgments. Intrinsic worth arises from duties performed judiciously versus unstable rankings dependent on changeable views. Realistic self-acceptance through detachment from social insecurities liberates energy for virtues like justice, wisdom, and fellowship enacted purposefully cooperatively. 17. Strengthen communities through compassion. The Stoics saw virtue and human potential optimized through reason, empathy, and fellowship. Small acts of benevolence and encouragement develop understanding unlocking purpose through service versus self-interest exacerbating unrest.